But welcome back to Aether Eternius, Dark Side of Foundry. Last time, a lot of shit went off the rails. It's to be expected, really. Uh, you guys finally found the source of basically what had displaced all of you, and it happened to have been an elder being known as Yog-Sothoth who had called you kind of to this in between of the realms, kind of that little side world that it lies between the conscious realm and the realm of those who are still asleep and dreaming. You had some interesting conversation with him. You didn't really get a whole lot of information out of him. You just know that they are willing to lend you their aid at a cost, as all things are. You don't know that cost, of course. And then he sent you on your way to give you a day to think over the decision. You kind of then split off again after kind of meeting back up at the plane of fire because when you had come to from your little side venture, you were back kind of split up. So you met back up, you went back to the plane of fire, and you went to see Leonard. You kind of basically asked him for a place to stay, only to find out that something had happened at Over the Hedge, Auntie's Tavern. Flix's mentor, Jericho Hall, had a lapse in sanity and struck out at the people in the tavern, as well as opening a gateway to the hedge itself. Flix, in a very chaotic manner, tried to go in and quote unquote save his mentor, even though he had no idea where his mentor actually was. Paralyzed a guard, tried to go in, almost got dragged into the hedge by grasping vines. Frias was able to save him, but they got out safe and sound, only to be arrested by the guards. They spent the night in the equivalent of the drunk tank, which was Leonard's dungeons. Rose and Various had a much more pleasant night, I'd say, and essentially got to go to a tavern led by the construction worker that they had met originally when they had gone on the way through fire. They had some major character building moments, which were quite good, which were recorded on stream, and they had a few more moments in the Off the Clock channel the next morning. Tiberius, on the other hand, decided to go and poke the bear, figuratively. He went and sought out Yog-Sothoth on his own. He had a bit of a run-in with Diaz, got scared out of his wits before going to the tavern next door run by Shub Nigarath, the third of the Elder Being trio. He got a nice room for the night and eventually did meet with Yog-Sothoth after falling asleep. One thing led to another, and Tiberius is now pacted to said Elder Being, and he probably has no idea just how much shit he's in.
He knows exactly how much shit he's in. 0.
Sure. Next morning has come. Frias and Flix are currently inside of the Plane of Fire's cafeteria. Flix has a bit of a change of wardrobe and appearance as well. Frias noted this and said so and off the clock. And I believe Tibbs has now joined them, and I believe Various and Rose are about to leave the tavern. The Brimstone Rose, I believe, was the tavern.
They're already on their way.
They're already on their way. All right. So we're currently in the fire cafeteria with Tiberius, Flix, and Frias. And I'd say anytime you'd like for Various and Rose, you could enter at whatever points. Let me go ahead and get Rhythm up and running for you guys. Because Rhythm's always late.
I'd like to point out that there's glitter all over the place right now.
You'll never take me alive!
Yeah, I'm not surprised it's Flix we're talking about. You didn't think a lot happened that session, but 4 hours and a lot of crap happened. The floor is now open to you guys.
Let's go first.
I would believe it to be Flix, Tiberius, and Frias.
He's blue, black, and gold. He can't exactly hide anywhere too well.
Well, he's also leaving a trail, so it should be quite easy to go after him. Do you think...
Yes, the glitter.
Do you think Leonard has any idea where they could be?
What do I look like? Do they even have secretaries? Huh. What do they call it here? Courtiers? No, that's not it. Hands? Maybe.
I might be in plain view.
I would say go ahead and roll. Actually, with Freya's passive perception of like 19, Freya's knows exactly where they're at. Tibbs, I will need you to roll a first perception, though, I think.
I rolled a 7.
Yeah, I'm
Should be able
aware.
to beat this.
Unless he gets a 1, like he's notorious for. Oh!
No, you tease it.
No, yeah. Flix is basically kind of shoddily hid behind essentially a corner in the hallway. It's very easy to see.
Is it because glitter is just like falling from the corner?
Pretty much. He kind of has one wing sticking out into like the main area.
There's also some echo.
Yeah, there's a little bit of echo.
The wings are bigger. I'm not used to hiding with them yet.
But yeah, you can see him plain as day. He thinks he's being sneaky, but he really is not.
Phrase just looks at the corner, looks back at Tibbs, and goes, "So, just let him pretend or get hit with more glitter bombs."
Do you want to roll that die?
Tiberius is going to look to Reyes and just shrug. If he doesn't want to come and see where Various is and where Rose is gone, he can stay here and, I don't know, do whatever it is the Fae do when they're alone with no one around and no buns.
I peek out from the corner. Where's Various?
Oh, having some kind of mental break. It's all right. You don't have to worry yourself, Flix. You're running away from us with your glitter.
I thought you were his friend. Why aren't you condoling him?
First off, it's consoling. Second off, what do I look like? His caretaker?
Condoling, and I thought you were his friend.
Shall we first?
I love how he dodged the question.
Phrase will just start walking towards where they said they were going to meet then.
It should be Leonard's
I'm
throne, I
gonna
believe.
sidestep away from Freeze and keep like a good 2-meter distance between us.
Oh.
Cause I'm still scared she's trying to dissect my wings.
But you guys are heading to the throne room. I believe that's where you guys decide to meet up again.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Various and Rose. Considering that Brimstone Rose isn't very far from the castle itself, it's like almost kind of near the shoreline of the caldera of the volcano itself before the bridge into the Obsidian Castle. It does not take you very long to cross that bridge since it's open to the public and get into the castle itself. Where will you be heading?
Probably throne room?
Okay. Rose?
Yeah, I mean that's where we're gonna check there first. But considering what time of day it is, like if they're not in the throne room, then Rose would know where to look next.
And it is still incredibly early, so as you guys reach the throne room, the first group reaches the throne room, Leonard is not there. In fact, if you remember specifically, he was still in the cafeteria having his breakfast. And probably now having to brush glitter off of him and call in the cleanup crew to get it off the table.
Well, who's cleaning off the ceiling?
Good question. You don't know.
What the crew is for?
But yeah, he is currently not in the throne room. And probably by the time that you realize that he is not there and probably back where you came from, Various and Rose arrive.
Various is still mumbling about potential ways to nullify Enel's defenses, and it seems to be going over ideas in his own head. He doesn't have Bellua with him.
Mhm.
And he seems a bit distracted.
Mhm.
Various, you still with us there?
Yes.
Oh, I should probably switch you over to the fire map. Whoops. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
I was just kind of sitting there staring. It's like, this doesn't fit the scenery. I should probably change them over. Right.
Anyways, if you're trying to reason things out still at this hour, maybe getting something in your stomach would help there. And I'm guessing that's where Leonard's going to be doing his usual morning ritual.
True. Then again, I haven't been feeling as hot as you.
Can you repeat
Jin,
that?
you were
Jin?
cutting out a lot,
Yeah,
yeah.
you cut off.
But then again, I haven't been feeling as hungry as usual.
Fair enough. Well, anyways, I'm gonna head to the cafeteria anyways. I need something at least this morning that's non-alcoholic.
Sounds fair enough. I may stay here. Just to think.
Alright. Well, we'll, once I find Leonard and the others, we'll, let them know that you're here as well.
So, Rose, where are you going to head? You're going to head to the cafeteria?
Yep.
Oh. Jen, you're breathing a little into your mic.
Gosh darn it, this mic is very weird. If it's a millimeter too far, it cuts out. If it's too close, it...
Okay. Tibbs, Furious, Flix, are you guys on your way to the cafeteria? Or on your way back, essentially? Or
Yes.
where are you going? Okay.
If
And,
we've seen the others, then yeah.
Probably not on the way. You probably, there's several different hallways leading to and from the throne room, and the one that leads to the cafeteria is an off branch of the main one. So you don't pass Rose or Varys on the way there. But, you guys do get back into the cafeteria. Yes?
Freys would stay in the throne room then to
Oh.
let Flix stay, away. And also, they were told to meet there anyway, so
Okay.
she had her breakfast. She's waiting for the others for the meeting.
But, you do see Rose and Various come into the throne room. You see them talk for a little bit before Rose heads off. Various remains.
And Freys will stay with Various and is patting off glitter.
Rose, you are kind of on your way to the cafeteria, but Flix and Tibbs are there right now. And there is a janitorial kind of staff going around. They got dustpans, scrapers and stuff to get the glitter off. Leonard is patting off glitter. It's in his coffee. It's on his newspaper. He doesn't look very pleased right now. So, yeah. You do eventually hear footsteps behind you, and it's Rose.
Ah! There you are. Where's Various?
Various is in the throne room. What at? You know what? Never mind. And Rose just keeps on walking towards the serving line.
And the line has been kind of cleared out because of the glitter bomb. They're having to clean up a lot of stuff right now, but they're still taking orders. Thankfully, the kitchen seems to have been unfazed. It's just people that are trying to shake glitter off of them.
All right. Once Rose gets to someone that's going to take their order, they're going to essentially order whatever the fire equivalent is of toast and eggs.
Okay, and the primordial that's kind of taking your order is kind of not as tall as you. It's kind of barely comes up to the countertop itself. You can't really see their eyes. It's kind of covered with what looks to be, I'd say, smoke. They're kind of like half wind, half fire. They're muddled, smoke muddled, and they kind of wheeze out your order before passing over the paper that they've written onto. It doesn't take long, and eventually, yeah, you get a plate of toast and eggs, and it looks like toast, but the eggs are like beet red on the yolk, and the whites are not white; they're more pink. Probably spicy.
Mm-hmm.
Toast is extra crispy, as is per usual for fire.
Well done. Rose, after getting their meal, is going to I just kind of just take an errand bite there and then look over to what's Leonard? Is Leonard still trying to like de-glitterify himself?
He's deglitterified, but you definitely tell that he is not happy about it. Like, typically the flames on his head are kind of a dull orangey red with the hintest of yellow. It is almost pure white right now.
Never mind.
He has burned the glitter off.
Rose is then going to head back over to Tiberius after all. So, what did we miss?
Nothing important, though. I will say, I thought your kind didn't need to eat.
We don't need to eat, doesn't mean we can't.
Do you have taste buds?
I mean, yes, I still have sensory reception.
Ah, and yet you order... What is that? It doesn't exactly look appetizing.
Rose just takes a big old bite of egg and just like exaggeratingly chews on it just in front of Tiberius to prove a point.
It tastes like a spicy egg. You know, Rose, that it's a special breed of dragon that are basically bred as the chickens of this place. It's basically dragon eggs.
Well, now that you've stuffed your face, can we please get along with this so that we know we're going next to save the plane so this can all get done so we can go on and live our lives?
I mean, I would be happy to do so. It does look like Leonard's still a wee bit occupied by, I can only assume, was some sort of weird attempt of a tactical assault in the cafeteria.
Not so much tentacles, more along the lines of slow look at flicks.
She tried to dissect my new wings with her eyes. All 4 of them.
That.
Rose looks over to Flix and holds up a finger. You seem different. That's
Do
it.
you like it?
Oh, I see. You parted your hair differently.
That's actually pretty good.
But yeah. Anyhow, I would suggest we just go hang on the throne room. Leonard will be there eventually, I'm sure.
And what do you guys plan to do?
I'm gonna call out sorry as I'm flitting away.
Oh my god. And where are you flitting away to?
To the throne room.
Wow. And you think Tiberius is the problem?
Hey, I didn't make a deal with the metaphorical or literal devil.
No, I'd say Yag's worse. Much worse. Definitely got shit on him. But you guys gonna follow Flix out and head to the throne room?
It's probably the most
Yeah.
logical thing to do right now.
Okay.
Yes, to the throne room.
Various, you do get your kind of moment of silence. It takes them probably about 20 or so minutes to really get back to you. It's both to you and Frias, but eventually you do see him. You see Flix first, of course, followed by begrudgingly Rose and Tiberius. The group's back together.
Various cracks open an eye as he hears more people coming. And eyes flicks for a long moment before humming to himself and looking over the others. So,
I immediately run over and hug Various. What happened? Are you okay?
Tiberius just smiles.
oh, it's fine. Everything's fine.
The not as pretty twin said you were in pain.
Well, he's not my twin.
Yes, he's not as pretty.
Wow. Okay.
He squints at Tiberius.
So, while we're waiting for Leonard to arrive here, anything interesting go on during the night?
Apparently,
Not that I can think of.
Apparently, Flix's mentor decided to open up a realm to the hedge in their bar.
Uh-huh.
Is
What's
that
that?
why?
Hmm?
Is
Go
that
ahead.
why Flix is blue?
No, they were blue after we were in jail.
Yeah, this is
Wait,
new.
excuse
it's
me?
beautiful, but it's new.
So, Flix tried to go into the tavern. I foolishly tried to help, and the entire place was taken over by a giant dandelion. Got him back out, and the guards decided we needed a nice nap.
Hey, to be fair, I was winning. I just needed like a pair of hedge trimmers, and that dandelion was going down.
That
Please.
doesn't try to explain why did they put you in jail.
Flix, I
You
can't
just
breathe.
leave one or two guards, and they get upset. Wait, no, I
Thanks.
spoke them. You hold one or two guards, and they get upset.
Didn't try to talk.
Flix,
Ru-
Flix, I can't breathe.
Oh, sorry. I got Various.
And Various kind of just flops to the floor.
Rose is going to look pointedly over to Flix and glance over the others. Excuse me for a moment, just the rest of you carry on. And then is going to walk partially back into the hall that they came from.
Okay. And what are you gonna do in there?
Oh, he's typing.
He's going to yell.
Uh-oh.
You'll see.
Yes, yes. Did anything else happen of interest at night other than dandelions attacking Flix and Flix getting a new wardrobe? You seen better burrows?
Are you okay? Do you need like a sippy drink?
I'm fine. It was just a passing moment.
Do you need a cookie?
I'm fine.
A pastry? A blankie?
You know he's going to continue until you say what you need.
I just need peace. Also, we need to figure out our next steps and our goals that we need to accomplish.
Well, the first question. How many planes are there in this land of planes? We've already cleared out 2, 3, 2. I want to say 2.
I would think that it would be the same as the amount of elemental types we were taught about.
Flix and Frias, from your knowledge, you know that there are a total of 7 planes. Wind, fire, earth, water, null, matter, and void. Ross, as you say that, you hear the click of heels as Leonard's advisor, Sophia, is kind of standing there staring at you in the hall.
Oh. Morning.
I would expect a little bit more poise from one of Leonard's own clerics, Mr. Rose. She has a very kind of monotone, even voice. She is an ice primordial, so she is both wind and water. She's a very kind of straight, poised-looking individual, has a very feminine appearance, but has kind of this maroon overcoat with a high neck that's fully buttoned on the front, as well as kind of black slacks and a kind of very simple appearance with very long but straight cut hair that covers the top of her face and goes about down to her mid back. She is holding.
Didn't she partially freeze Tibbs at some point?
Yes, she did. Twice. She is holding a stack of papers and scrolls under one arm, and a coffee in the other. That's kind of has that little like cap on it that you usually get for a takeout.
Yes, that was somewhat unbecoming. I did not realize there was anyone else in the vicinity.
You are currently inside of the Fire Lord's castle. It is an incredibly well populated area. Seems rather obvious.
Of course. Duly noted.
Anyway,
Excuse me, and Rose will just hurry back towards the throne room.
just so you know, Leonard is not seeing visitors today. Something has happened in the cafeteria that's put him in a foul mood.
Oh, gee. Is that so?
Indeed. I was coming here to see if he had any potential visitors and was going to ward them off. She actually kind of walks with you into the throne room.
Oh, yeah, about that.
And, you guys see Rose return with a very stern-looking, icy water primordial with him. She'll kind of look over at all of you, kind of nonchalantly, and it's like, Lord Leonard is not having visitors today. Please vacate the premises. At least the throne room is currently closed to the public for today.
Such a cold reception.
We're not the public.
Yes, you are. You're currently not formally invited by Lord Leonard, or else I would know, as it would be in my books. So therefore, you are classified as public.
But weren't we supposed to be here to get something from him or do something?
Nope. You guys just came to see him for the night.
Oh. Well, screw this. I gotta get back to that tavern.
No, don't let him go. Don't let him go. No.
Flix! We all need to have a discussion. Let's
Ve-
go find a place to speak, then.
Flix, Varys' fare is the wrong way. He needs consoling.
There's
Don't
several
worry, I'll
public
console
venues.
you so well. I hug him again.
There's several public venues inside the castle, including the library, the gardens, any at your local agent. The phone room is just closed for today.
I pet Various down by his ears like I'm petting hair.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
small child. They're there. They're there.
I'm just picturing like when you pet a cat and trying to
Yeah.
petting their head too hard and they're like, eh.
The eyes are being pulled back.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, Varys is loving every second of this.
I have never felt so undignified.
Grace will be the first of the group to start walking out at least.
Could we perhaps request Leonard's presence at some point today? We are trying to save, existence. It would be nice if he'd give us the wherewithal to actually speak with us once in a while.
Sophia kind of looks at you with a rather incredulous look. It's like, that's not how it works. The lords summon their visitors. You don't summon the lords.
Could you have him summon us then?
I'll think about it.
I'm
You
gonna
truly
drop
are an ice
Various.
queen.
I'm dropping Various, and I'm running back to the cafeteria where Leonard is.
No,
Oh,
Flick.
Prius will stop that.
You don't know where to go,
Physically block him.
You're physically gonna physically get in his way. Okay. Yeah, Frias is standing in your way, Flix.
though. I pick her up and put her aside. Can I march down the hallway with purpose?
Oh,
She'll grab your arm.
No.
Yeah, Frias grabs your arm,
Usually I-
Flix.
Yeah. And I keep running.
Flix.
You can't
Oh.
have them. They're mine.
Okay, well, Freyas is going to transform into a giant wolf spider and grapple Flix.
I'm running even harder.
I would
Yeah,
say-
I got 40 feet of movement. Good try.
I'm going to yell that I am not a fly. Don't eat me.
I'd say contested Dex versus Strength. Dex for Flix to get it to run away, and Frias Strength to grapple. Oh shit!
I am terrified of Prius
I
right now.
have to get a nat 20 or I can't.
Oh lordy!
20 plus 1. Well done.
Oh yeah, no, you grossly mistime your jump.
And it's nothing but flight.
Yeah, you grossly mistime your jump, and Flix is way ahead of you by this point. He is booking it.
Can I try again? I have 40 feet of movement, 80 if I'm sprinting.
It'll be another Dex versus Strength. Now I'm just
Now you have-
picturing Flix in like one of those like hallway simulators where he's running from side to side as Frias is chasing
Just
him.
parkouring off the sides of the hallway. No!
Oh!
I tripped on my heel and broke.
Yeah, that's
No.
what happened. Flix, you're feeling pretty confident, but all of a sudden you kind of
Oh my
stepped
God!
wrong, and you
That
just
was
hear us.
okay.
And you just hear us.
Behind me by one.
Yeah, Flix, you're running, and then you kind of misstep one particular step, and you just hear this snap as your heel snaps, and you fall face first onto the ground.
8-legged hug.
And there is now a spider over you.
Anything but the face, or the wings, or the body, or the hair.
And at this point, can't talk or anything, so just kind of holding him to the floor.
Varys and Tibbs kind of walk past you at a leisurely rate.
Well,
as
they're
they
not
head to-
going to the cafeteria. Various
but-
is heading for the front door.
Oh, he's going through the main entry?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's where we go.
Roast would go ahead and follow Frias.
Okay, but Tibbs and Varys, they kind of take the center hallway, which is kind of a large grand hallway, and eventually down the large set of stairs toward the entrance of the castle. Rose, you see a giant spider currently hovering and grappling Frix to the ground.
Help me.
So I'm.
She's trying to eat me.
It's not going to eat you, Flix.
You didn't see the look in the 4 eyes.
Rose looks over to Frias. You're not going to eat him, right?
The mandibles just move a little.
That might be a yes.
Okay, look, Flix. I'm not going to ask any more about what transpired last night or what has Leonard in a sour mood today, but either way, we do have other business to take care of. So, if you would kind of come with us for now, we'll try to figure out whatever is going on back at the hedge, but not here.
Frix's player just went upstairs, apparently try related.
Mm-hmm.
The mother senses were tingling, I bet.
let's just say that Flix is getting cocooned right now.
It's the only way to make sure he goes along with you guys.
If we
keep
want to
back.
keep... Oh, okay.
Oh, go ahead, Az.
I was going to say, if we want to continue the story, the 2 inner legs will continue to hold, the 2 outer legs will release but walk, so Flix is just being carried underneath the spider outside.
That's not a absolutely horrible sight, no.
I want to wriggle. I wish to wriggle.
Strength, I guess. Contested strength
Oh.
to keep a hold of him.
I am not a Viking there at all.
16.
But I want out.
Oh no. I have all the fear.
Uh-oh. Flix is determined today.
Oh.
No, Flix is able to wriggle free. He kind of just wriggles and kind of squirms until you just ride out.
I kick up my boots and I run.
What?
Yelling, "You'll never take me alive!"
What spells
And
do I have?
Darius and Tibbs, you can still kind of hear this going on inside the castle because the doors are wide open, so you can kind of hear Flix screaming.
I
Oh, darn, I
Ro-
took off Charm Person. Oh well.
Rose is just Rose is gonna kind of do like a half face palm. It's like, I didn't want to have to do this. Rose is gonna try to cast Hold Person on Flix.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Sweet, sweet revenge.
Go ahead and link the spell to
He's
me.
not one of the guards. I didn't hold him.
Okay, it is a wisdom save from Flix.
So that's DC 14.
Oh my god.
Stop when he's terrified.
Spider is chasing again, I guess.
Yeah, your spell fizzles as Flix keeps running, Rose.
Probably because Leonard is just so pissed off by all the glitter in the area.
By the way, I'm spilling more glitter as I run.
God damn it, no!
It's just making it worse!
It's awesome.
So Flix, how would you say you're running? Kind of haphazardly, kind of everywhere?
He's running like Phoebe from Friends.
Yes. Oh my god, yes.
So you eventually are, so let me roll something.
It's perfect. And yes, it's totally Phoebe from Friends running.
Okay.
That's who's running.
Yeah, you kind of run past several guards who see that you were spreading the glitter around, and they're gonna now pursue you because you were now causing a ruckus. There's 2 guards now chasing you too.
Okay, hang on. I'm just gonna post here. So this is how he's running. Just the blonde girl. Watch her run. That's how he's running.
They're both blonde. Girl.
No, she's like a brunette. Phoebe's blonde.
Okay.
Oh my god! But yeah, there's now 2 guards currently going after you, as well as a giant wolf spider. And Benny Hill view intensifies.
And Rose is also chasing after.
Where exactly are you running to? Are you just running randomly now?
No, I'm running to Leonard.
You don't know where Leonard was. You know that he was in the
I knew he was in the
cafeteria.
cafeteria, so I'm running to the cafeteria.
So you kind of do the slide run as you kind of dive into the cafeteria, and he's not there.
Crap.
Another grapple. They stopped for a moment.
If I were a nobly fire person, where would I be? The library.
As you
And
turn
then-
around to go to the door, there's a spider jumping at you, so dex save. And you failed!
Oh no.
And you are now on the ground, being held down by a spider as 2 guards now come up and start flanking it too.
And I scream and I flail.
Does Rose catch up to them?
Chip is gonna have his hands full with this one, isn't he?
Yeah, Rose catches up. He sees that the guards are kind of leaning down to kind of pick up Flix.
One last
crap.
ditch effort.
There's
I
a,
want the glitter bomb.
wait.
Oh no.
Darts. I know these 2.
We're aware, but we're going to make sure this one is kicked out of the castle for right now. They're a little too rowdy for this early in the morning.
Oh, you're just kicking him out. Okay, that's fine. Go right ahead.
So yeah,
I'm
the
doing
two guards are
glitter
gonna kind of kneel down to grab Flix's arms.
I want to glitter bomb.
I'm
Roll me a
holding your
flat-
arms.
How are you going to glitter bomb if your arms are being held?
I pelvic thrust up.
Oh no.
Roll me a flat 1d20. You kind of wiggle a little bit, but no, you're still held down. You can't really free your arms or anything.
Alright. I do the equivalent of going limp.
And the guards look at you, Freya,
Fear.
take Flix by the arms. It's like, all right, troublemaker. First the drunk tank last night, and now you're just gonna maybe sometime out of the castle might calm you down. And the two guards kind of lift your limp body up.
I request to be thrown out Jazzy Jeff style.
Yeah, they're gonna start dragging you. They're gonna start dragging you out.
The spider is falling behind just in case of a breakout.
Like, are you gonna stay limp even as they go down the stairs?
Yep. Make it as hard as possible for them.
Yeah, they're just kind of dragging you to the front gate at this point.
Ow. Ow. Ow.
Freyas will be nice enough to at least retrieve the boots.
Ow.
Yeah, once they get to the main citadel doors, they will literally just yeet.
Ah!
You'll land like maybe 5 feet away, but yeah.
The spider will nod at the guards and then continue to follow the Flix.
One guard looks at Rose. It's like, maybe take care to control your friends next time. It's early. We're tired. If they had caused worse damage, they'd be in a lot of trouble. This is a Lord Citadel, after all. This is not a public park.
How do you think I feel?
And the two guards will kind of go back inside.
Bye, Murray.
Tibbs and Various, you kind of see two guards drag Flix out of the castle and kind of yeet him onto the bridge, followed by a giant spider and Rose.
I think they're done.
Freyas will offer the boots back and just kind of stand there, arms crossed, foot tapping, very, very disappointed looking.
I will wait for her to put them down, inch over, grab them, and then step away from her.
Now remember, one of your heels is broken.
I'm not wearing them. I'm just holding them in my arms.
I know, I was just reminding you.
Just
But,
imagining poor Flix dancing from foot to foot. Hot, 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 hot.
Yeah, the ground's hot. Very hot, considering the fact that you are in a volcano. You are standing literally inches above boiling liquid magma. It's hot.
I use my wings to float.
Smart. But any glare that seems to come off you seems to like instantly combust. It's hot. It is really, really hot. But yeah, the group is now together. Flix has no shoes on because one of his heels broke. Freyas looks incredibly disappointed. Rose looks like he needs more alcohol. Where do you want to go now?
So we're all here. Shall we discuss where our next adventure is?
Maybe we should discuss it while sitting down.
Auntie's pub.
How do you...
Auntie's pub.
That...
You
We've
realize
already
that's
been
not how
told
it
that's-
works.
We've already been told that it's dangerous.
Yes.
You've also been told that it's off limits.
Yes. But Jericho's in there.
You don't know that.
No, they are not in there with the hedge.
That's where Jericho was last. Was in there.
Flix.
Jericho was in there.
Flix.
Jericho was in there.
Flix. You need to use your head. Why would
Break
they
down the
be
door,
in
yes.
there when everything is plants? Wouldn't they bring them to a prison or some sort of place to get them checked on by professionals?
They wouldn't be able to. They're Fae. And if he's having an actual meltdown, they wouldn't be able to get near him because he's a Fae.
You don't know
Rose,
that.
back me up.
Rose, you remember specifically that Leonard had told you guys that he is currently recovering and is having no visitors, which means, guess where he's at? He's in the Citadel. Probably guarded.
Look, I know you're concerned about your mentor. Right now, though, from what it sounds like, Jericho is not in a position to be seen by anyone. I'm sure that Leonard or whoever is well aware about it by now. They're probably doing what they can to try to give Jericho some measure of safety. All we can do right now is
Well, I need
give
to
him
help him.
time.
If Florence isn't there to help him, I need to help him.
There are some things that can't be helped.
Yes,
Right.
there are things that can be helped.
Flix.
You're not a Fae, Rose.
Flix, let's make a deal. I won't eat you right here and now if you just agree to go with us to somewhere else.
But I need to make sure Jericho's okay.
He is fine. Leonard knows where he is, and it is
Leonard's in a
perfectly
mood. He
fine.
might set him on fire.
Do you think a lord would honestly do something like that isn't made of
They've
matter?
done it in the past.
The old
Leonard's
Have you ever met
Fire
different.
Lord.
Glacia?
The old Fire Lord, maybe. Rose, you know Leonard wouldn't do something like that. He's too much of a
Yeah, but he
softie.
said, "Would you think a lord would do that?" And I'm like, "Have you ever met Glacia?"
Okay, fair. That's fair. That's fair. That's Glacia.
That is not. Leonard harming Jericho for whatever reason is not in his nature.
Rose,
Mm,
I know that we spoke about this earlier, but where would you end up going if you needed a place? Because at this point, we need either some place of our own or to order a large tavern. We need to sit down and talk in private. All of us.
yeah, I know at least that as far as getting our own place, there's procedures for that.
I know a
As-
place.
You do?
Oh. Well,
You do?
Yo, actually, listen, I'm surprised. This is actually weird. Follow me. He's going to go toward Chubb's pub.
So he's heading back to the Foundry.
Yep.
Oh, lordy. Yeah, Tibbs goes marching off with his head high. Yay! Apparently he
Freyas
knows
is
the place.
going to grab Flix's hand and interlock her fingers with his, just to make sure he don't try anything.
I need to go to a shop first.
It's like a mother leading a child.
What's the shop for?
My new armor.
Your
It's
armor's
now.
not. And your armor's not done till tomorrow. I've been keeping track of the days.
Oh, I thought it was done today.
No, it's tomorrow.
Fine.
Also, another thing happens tomorrow because these two events will line up.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna like magic my heel back and put my boots on.
So you're gonna like mending.
Yeah.
Okay, that's easy for you to kind of do on the move.
Rose follows, but staying close to Various, and will just kind of lean down towards him. You know, I actually was honestly hoping to ask Leonard about getting our own abode, but Well,
I
that's gonna
had
have to wait a
guessed
bit.
as much, but I suppose that events have transpired.
You can
Glitter
say
bomb.
that again.
A glitter bomb happened.
Multiple glitter bombs happened.
Multiple. Yep.
So we're
Hey, I was
following.
scared.
We're following Tibbs.
Yep, Tibbs, you are the leader of the group right now.
What do you mean
So,
right now?
Right now.
Okay. Nothing of note really happens on your way back to the portal to the Foundry. It's still early in the morning, there's not a lot of foot traffic, so you get through without any issues. You are back in the Foundry, you're in the Fire District.
Okay, straight for Shub's place.
Okay. And that is in the inner ring, so you kind of walk through the main area of Fire. Shops have not fully set up, there's some stalls that are only just barely opening, some stores aren't even open right now. And you guys kind of make it to the inner ring without any problems. And you kind of head over to where Diaz's shop is and where you remember Sheb's tavern was in. There, the door's open. It's kind of propped open with like one of those little cafe signs and stuff like that. It's got
What's
kind
written
of
on the sign?
what is written on the sign? It is basically the soups of the day. Seems like there's a dragon meat chowder. There is a special breakfast that is currently available, which is eggs, ham, pancakes with a coffee.
And this place
Basically-
is right next to Diaz's, right?
Yes, it is, like right next door. It's a very brick and mortar kind of style.
Various's ears pull back as they start to approach it.
But yeah, the cafe sign just kind of has different specials currently for the day, current coffee brews and whatnot. It seems very normal on the outside, like very normal, almost too normal. Like, you know, that normal that seems too good to be true. There's that hint that something is very, very weird.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those.
It's
like
fine.
we're talking Stepford Wives level of normal.
I was just about to mention that.
Yeah. Very clean, very normal, quotation marks. And
Just like- Yeah, so he's gonna walk in.
he's gonna completely ignore the fact that Various is staring at Diaz's shop like,
Oh, if he actually notices that, which I don't think he will.
Okay. What was your passive perception on Tiberius?
Passive.
I'm looking at. Oh, okay. Yeah, you don't notice anything. It's a 9. Why is it a 9?
Yep.
Yeah, Tibbs, you walk right in it, and the typical morning crowd is here. People are having coffee, pastries, and whatnot. Shub is at the very kind of front, the kind of kitchenette area, getting orders ready and stuff like that. Does anyone follow him in, or are you guys staying outside?
Various is definitely dragging Flix right in.
Oh, God.
Actually, I don't know. Am I being pulled in or not?
You are.
Okay, I'm going in.
Okay, Rose, what are you doing? Rose and Various.
Various looks up to Rose.
Right. Change the music. to
Exactly.
this. Copy.
Now,
My whiskers are bristling.
you know, I was worried about Flex to begin with, but now I'm shifting those concerns to another individual.
Varys will be fine.
I don't trust this.
Don't worry, you'll be worried about Flix again in no time.
After entering, you do notice that there are some kind of open tables. There's booth tables because the entire downstairs is like set up like a cafe. There are some offshoot rooms with open tables and the like as well.
Oh, Tiberius is going right to Shub.
Oh, so you're going straight up to the front counter.
Oh, yes.
She'll kind of look over and say, "Well, good morning."
Ah, hello again. Wonderful stay last night, but I was wondering if we could have the booths for me and my companions to speak about business without being interrupted.
Oh, well, we've got a couple private rooms in the back.
Yes, one of those.
All right, she kind of motions a waiter over. They look oddly just very human, very normal looking, a little too clean. And she kind of motioned with a thumb toward the back, and she's like, my little waiter, my little child here is gonna lead you and your friends to the back. I'll have someone bring over some menus in a little bit once you get settled in."
Oh, thank you, Shel. That's very remarkable of you. Truly great service in this place.
I'll try my best. And the waiter doesn't really say anything. They look kind of vacant, but they still are paying attention. They don't say anything though. It's a kind of motion for you to, or at least Tiberius to follow. He doesn't know where the I don't know where the others are right now. Currently,
So they've got a servitor's glare.
very much so.
This is a perfectly normal Waffle House.
All
Can
normal.
Freyas
Yep.
investigate that at all?
That might be more
What?
insight.
Yeah, that might be more insight.
Yeah,
Come
I
on.
just... You know what I meant. Just check on them somehow.
It's a roll insight.
Would you all hurry up? We've got to
And
move.
who exactly are you trying to insight?
The person who's pretty obviously glazed over. Like if
The waiter.
some...
Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead. Roll me insight. Oh wow, you actually beat the DC. Something feels very off about this person. They don't seem to have, like, you know how sometimes someone's eyes will follow noises or follow the things around them? They're dead set, deadpan ahead, even though they kind of even though they kind of move and kind of lead you toward the back, which are several private dining rooms. But there's nothing there, almost as if they're just kind of a shell. It's
What's the matter, Varys? You've never seen a servitor before?
I couldn't hear
Ghastly
the
things.
echo.
Oh, sorry.
What's the matter, Freyas? You've never seen a servitor before. It's quite common. I think that the practice is ghastly, but what do I know?
In fact, Freya, since you're kind of watching this thing move, you notice that the skin is not natural. You can barely kind of make out seams between the neck and the jaw, as well as the elbows, as well as each finger. But they kind of move rather fluidly. They move surprisingly fluidly for something that shouldn't really do so. But they usher you into what looks to be a private dining room. It's nice. It's got like kind of windows. It kind of has instead of like a door and then that leads in, it's more a set of drapes that will close in once you're inside. And inside is kind of a booth style seating, but it's around a round table, so it goes around the corners of the room. Pretty spacious. And there's about placemats for like 8 people, but you see the waiter kind of nonchalantly and quietly move to remove 3 of them for the 5 of you.
It's a problem that it's a circle, but Freyas will make sure Flix is on the complete opposite side of the table and complete opposite side of the door.
So the tables are going to be between them and the door.
And she keeps her hand firmly grasped onto his, still fingers interlocked.
Can I try to sleight of hand out of it?
You'd have to beat Frias' passive perception. That is the DC.
Nope.
What's her passive?
19.
19?
Close.
That's why I said that's the DC. Because he would notice if you let go of her hand.
So
Just
close.
squeezes tighter.
Like
A river.
But yeah, you guys are now sat at this kind of booth style seating in kind of a little private room, and the waiter will set down menus in front of you. They're kind of the typical kind of cafe style menus with there's at least 2 pages of it. They'll set one down in front of each of you before doing a slight bow before leaving and closing the curtains behind them.
See? I said I know a new place. Now we've got a place where we can talk and not have eavesdroppers.
Right. Sure.
I didn't see you coming with ideas, Burrows.
Well, you weren't paying attention, but yes, they were. Anyway, I vote water.
Why water?
Well, you know the notes I'm getting, and from the last clue I got, I'm assuming it's water.
Wonderful.
I'm sorry, clues? What are we talking about here?
They
Have you
have
forget? Sorry,
Sorry.
you can go.
You had mentioned that you had a friend, that you were trying to track down who has left clues for you, albeit in very unusual locations. Which brings up the question, what is your friend? I asked you before and you somewhat dodged the question.
They were an old research buddy from before I've appeared in this particular plane,
Are they
and
sorry.
no, you're good. You could
Are
ask.
they like you?
If you're asking if they're a tiefling, no. If they like to research things, yes.
He
That doesn't make
raises
any
a brow.
sense.
What makes you say that, Flix?
Because I don't get it.
You're saying this as if people can't have friends of other types. Like, look at you and I. We're the best of friends right now. And she'll take his hand up and actually, like, hug it to her face.
Oh my god.
I
just
was
imagine-
terrified. Stop trying to eat me.
I just imagine this utterly horrified look that Flix has, just the "Ugh!"
And just a big smile phrase is getting right now.
Frius.
Hmm.
What do they look like or appear like?
It has been a moment, but the best I could tell you is they are humanoid, and they are female.
There's
Oh,
a
well.
brief lapse in your memory, Freya. You feel as if something tried to almost prevent the memory for a brief second before it clears.
She'll try to play off whatever blinking or
Mhm.
subtle movement she had from that moment.
Very well.
Ross, how about you? Where would you think we should go next? You're the one who knows the plane the most out of the rest of us.
Well, I mean, so far we have Frias' lead in water, but that still leaves what? Earth, void. Hmm. Rose kind of Rose will kind of tried to hide a little wince when Frias voted for water.
How hard you want to hide that?
Yeah. How hard are you trying to hide? You're trying to hide it from the ability for them to see it, because if so, I might have you do a deception roll.
Oh yeah, no, that was maximum effort.
Okay, so deception roll, please.
Oh boy. Why is one charisma don't fail me now?
Methinks
Yeah.
Rose may not want to go to water.
Yeah, everyone's able to see that one.
On a completely unrelated topic, I might owe Glacia some money, so I don't know if I should go to water.
Excuse me.
Come again?
Who's Glacia?
Glacia is the lord of water.
I thought
Great.
you dealt with favors, not with currency.
Well, he deals with currency, and there was a poker game, and I, had a little bit to drink. I was being an ambassador. I was ambassadizing.
And Frias, you know for a fact that with Amadeus's help, water does operate on currency. In particular, they are infamous for crime, gambling, and a lot of seedy bullshit.
I mean, he offered me to start the tab, and I said, okay, I'll pay it back when I win some money on the house.
How much
I
do
just
you
didn't
owe?
realize the house wins all the time
Especially when it's his house.
when it's his house.
How much do you owe?
Um,
Go ahead and roll me just like a 1d100.
Oh boy, this is gonna go swimmingly.
Okay, you owe him about what's called 30 blue chips, which is their currency there. You usually only get one per game, so...
Perfect. I'm like 200 grand in the hole. It's all good.
It's
I
not
can
bad.
barely
It's
make it
30's not as bad as it could have been. So basically think of it this way. The
It's
30
not
is
that bad.
more... Consider the 30 to be kind of a translation to 30 grand for us. Flix owes a chunk.
It's not that bad. It's only 30 blue chips.
So you owe this kind of money. What happens if you don't pay it?
Okay, so you know how water can be kind of turbulent?
The actual element, or are you talking about the plane? Because I've never been there.
Yes.
Ah,
Think of it as they negotiate by taking a big chunk of ice and breaking your knees if you don't pay on time.
but they only break your knees, right?
No.
No.
No, because you see, anyone that's associated with me counts as interest.
So I vote not water. Or if we go there, Flix remains here, and we've never heard of a Fae named Flix. Am I agreed?
Oh! I can put on a disguise. They'll never know it's me.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Plan.
Oh.
I can do this.
All opposed to the idea of having our knees broken, raise your hands. Aether's raising both of his hands.
I
Freys
also raise my hand.
raises the hand she's holding of Flix, so she's
I
making
raise
his
my
hand
other
raised.
as well.
Right, so it appears that water's off the table. What does your hint indicate? Did you read it out loud or repeat it some way to those of us who never got the actual words?
Oh, it's fine. I don't think.
Wait, what?
I got blue fairy wings and longer hair. Everyone knows water can't tell the difference between Fae. It's win-win.
I love how I love how Flix is hyping himself up over this, and that's not how it is.
Does
Flix, we already voted not to go. Why are you trying to undo your vote again?
We need to further
We
discuss
need to go to water. It's vitally important for your quest. Because you said your clue leads to water.
Yes, but I'd rather not get hurt.
Well,
I'd rather
then-
find a way to somehow pay off some of the debt.
So what we do is we bring some currency so we can get some blue chips. And then
how
we
much?
only play the slots.
No.
This way, you don't go to a table that has a house person at it. That way, you don't get caught. If you do something nefarious. And I'm not saying Tiberius should do something nefarious, but look at the cut of his jib.
What? Excuse you?
Well, you are kind of seedy looking. Did you get, like, darker?
Flix,
I've always
how
been
much
white.
is
Thank
it?
you.
Flix, how much is a chip?
Nova, how much is the chip?
considering the fact that water has its own currency system, you don't really know. You just know them as blue chips. They kind of look like blue poker chips.
No, but
And
what could we use as currency to trade in for it? Like, how much of one realm would count for a blue chip? Like,
if
when
you
you're
think
trading
about
in
it in terms of gold,
you know.
it's like 1,000 gold for one chip.
Okay, so it's 1,000 gold for one chip. Holy shit!
I heard that.
He was in the bathroom when he said that.
I heard it.
Question for Nova.
Yes.
Considering how water tends to deal with like prized like minerals and jewels like jade, for instance, would Rose know if those are maybe exported from another plane, like say Earth?
Jade in particular is exported from wind, but other precious materials are all come from usually Earth. Sulfur, brimstone, onyx, a few of the more molten metals tend to come from fire. Water tends to specialize in surprisingly wildlife like meats, fish, and the such, as well as coral-based gems.
Mm-hmm.
And they really tend to place value more on stuff from Earth.
Oh, question.
Yes.
How hard would it be to use an illusion spell for blue chips? Oh.
No.
Very hard, and you're getting a lot of trouble.
Well, I'm already 30 grand in. I mean, come on.
But it would be, if you're passing it off to some normal guy, they would probably try to cast a detect magic spell on it to make sure it's legit.
Okay.
If you're trying to give it to Glacia, he would know immediately.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm not going anywhere near Glacia. Played a game with him, I don't want to do that again.
Yeah,
I know, I owe Glacia, exactly.
But
Friends.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, no, what if we use a spell to make fake gems look like the real thing and trade that in for some chips?
I have a suggestion that has a much lesser chance of blowing up in our faces.
But it's more fun when it blows up in your face.
Frace's grip is now starting to twitch on his hand.
Look, we still need to check.
Totally been in
We still need to check out Earth.
1, 2,
Now, Earth.
5 jails out of 7 planes. It's pretty good.
As I was saying, look, if we go to check out Earth, there's a lot of minerals. There's a lot of rare materials that we could potentially harvest or gain while we're on Earth to try to use that towards your debt when we do eventually go to water.
Can I speak?
Yes, please.
We need to also discuss various other goals. We have a few normal things that we need to gather. As you've probably noticed, some of us probably need some new clothes. And he tugs at his torn vest and shirt. On top of that, we likely need to catch up with certain people. We may not be able to go to the tavern, but we may be able to get some answers down in the Feydark Commons.
What if
My-
we got some diamonds?
You hear him growl under his breath.
I didn't know bunnies could growl.
Yeah, they can.
Growl.
I know.
I gotta look it up because they growl.
On top of that, we all have goals. My own is obviously continuing to work towards the release of our 6th friend, and he taps the ring on his finger. And I would like some time to contact certain people and see if they have any leads. On top of that, we also have that standing offer that was given to us, though I strongly suggest we reject it outright. We also need to consider a base of operations, because we're starting to gather enough stuff that it's going to start slowing us down.
You mean like that egg?
Shut your muzzle, Tiberius.
What egg? What egg?
The Flix, have you even noticed the backpack?
What backpack? What egg? What are we talking about?
Oh, am I the only one looking around nowadays?
Oh, you do have the forearm to do it.
That felt like a shot. You should grab his hand.
She just
but
she
you
just
might
moves
like
closer
that.
to him.
In the meantime, we can also see if we have anything that we don't necessarily need that we can perhaps pawn off for these blue chips that Flix needs for their debt.
So we're
And
going
there
to
are-
water.
And there are outsider shops that will trade in items for gold value. Because some outsider shops still use currency.
Now, does anybody else have any goals that they need to achieve?
I
You
need to
can
get
tell
my
Various is
armor in a day.
bristling.
In accordance with what Various is saying, once Leonard is in a position where he wishes to see us again, I may be able to pursue some sort of abode for us. I'm not entirely certain of what red tape is involved with that, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
But it
And
sounds like we probably need to spend some time doing mundane tasks today, get some big things done tomorrow, and possibly at the end of tomorrow head towards wherever our next goal is. Either that or the day after.
And where exactly is our next goal?
That's what we need to figure out.
look, point is, we sweat the small stuff today, and then we'll deal with the larger picture tomorrow.
About this time, as silence falls over the group, the curtain is pulled back as the waiter then returns. He has a notepad with him and kind of looks at you in a very monotone voice, says, "Would you like anything?"
You would by chance have 30 blue chips on you, would you?
No.
Ah, there goes that idea.
Do you know where we can find some?
No.
No.
I'll
you
just
have
have
any
whatever's
weapons?
today. I'll just have today's special.
Very well. And they'll write that down on their pad of paper.
I'll just have some tea.
Very well.
I'm not hungry or thirsty.
Very well.
Your name would be appreciated.
No.
Fair enough. Water then.
Very well. And they'll finally look at you, Flix.
I don't owe you money, do I?
Pardon? Can you say it again? Your mic cut out for me.
I don't owe you money, do I?
No.
Okay, we're good. Oh, I name off like some ridiculously fancy Fey drink.
Very well. They'll close their notebook and then turn to leave. After
The
kind of
service-
checking the menus again.
The service here is impeccable, don't you say?
It's easy to have good service when they're handmade.
You know, I
Ah,
am
good-
I am curious, Tiberius, how did you come to know this establishment?
Oh, I stayed here last night when you were all bickering back at the fireplace, and I found this place and decided to stay here for the night. And it was had a wonderful meal, and I suggested that we come here because myself and the barkeep hit it off.
Can I do an insight on that?
Sure.
If anyone know when he's lying, it's Various.
Well, I already know he's lying, but I don't have to roll for that.
Quiet, you.
I'd say go ahead. Yeah, I would say that's a big no. Various, you're not sure. Like, your gut is telling you something's up. But without him saying anything, without any outward clues, you don't know if he's telling the truth or not.
Besides Burroughs, you've seen me get into far better places with far worse people.
What were you saying, Rose?
I'll see.
Oh, sorry.
Can Rose also do insight just because
Sure.
Rose has a casual idea by now of how promiscuous Tiberius can be.
Wait, what?
Sure.
I mean,
I think you used the wrong word.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, how many people have you slept with? And where was I when that was happening?
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's wrong.
Right now.
Oh.
I think that's wrong. Word
Wait,
there.
what?
Okay. Do we know this?
Clip it. Someone clip it.
Because I'm too big in debt right now to get my thing going on.
Okay, so wind it back. Just Tibbs, like they know Tibbs tries to talk a big talk, so.
Okay. Oh, shit.
That rat is shit.
Yeah, you kind of looking over to.
Oh.
Oh!
Oh, bullshit! But
Rochambeau.
Okay, I've got a unique way of doing something with this, especially in Tiberius's case. Rose, you're kind of staring daggers through Tibbs. In fact, I'm going to pull you both into a side channel.
Oh.
Oh, hi, Rose.
Rose says, you kind of stare into Tibbs. You're trying to discern something's up, and you definitely feel like something's up. You kind of tunnel your vision a bit and kind of focus really in, start focusing on his words, but then you start noticing something. Your vision is being pulled away from your focus, as if something is diverting that focus. As if there's someone taking hold of your mind and your head and trying to forcefully turn it away. Don't know where it's coming from, you don't know why. And all the while, Tibbs just has a very confident smirk on his face.
Oh, that was fast.
That
Welcome
growly
back.
bunny is adorable.
Man, that little
Alex
Caesar's
Ross
Hot
is
and
very
Ready
smart.
commercial was the real deal.
You are muffled. Yes.
Hello.
There you go.
Anyways, yeah, so Rose is still looking attentively at Tiberius. Though Rose has kind of leaned back there in sort of as kind of something just almost as if taking it back for a moment.
So then, we get that basic stuff out of the way, and then we can head off towards... Did we say water? Are we agreed on water, or are we going somewhere else?
I think we're going water.
I think we were doing odd jobs, seeing if Leonard wanted to speak with us tomorrow, and then water, if
Yes. You do
anything
your
can be
own
done.
jobs. It's fine.
Fine. Well, I will be heading down into the whatever it's called. Does anybody want to come with me?
I'll follow just to ensure that you're not, killed.
Preferably
Oh,
someone
thank
who
goodness I don't
also
have to
knows
watch
how to
two.
get.
I'll come with you, Various. I'm sure there's some other business I can attend to as while I'm there as well.
You hear
Very
that,
well.
Flix? It's just us.
Oh joy.
At the oh joy, the waiter returns. They have a tray balanced. They set water in front of Tibbs. They set a teapot and a cup with a saucer in front of Rose. They set a rather decently sized plate in front of Frias. It's got eggs, ham, toast, nicely toasted, kind of like a sourdough toast. Nicely charred ham, eggs, and a big old cup of coffee. Smells good. Smells like a typical breakfast cafe kind of style food.
Now
Well,
come on, Flix. I know you haven't eaten this morning. You can partake in some.
I'm good.
And then in front of Flix, they set a kind of a tall, I say foot tall glass filled with a very neon pink drink that seems to be kind of oozing fog.
Oh yes, this is what I need. Just hook it to my veins.
And the waiter will bow their head before leaving.
Well, if Rose is going to go with you, Various, then I don't see why I would have to.
Very well. He can probably find us a way down that does not include those. People.
Yes, Tibbs, come and regale Frias here with your charming wit.
Nah, I believe it's time that you and Frey spent some quality time together.
No, we're good.
No, you're
I
not
already
going
did that.
alone.
We spent the whole night in a jail together. How long have you spent with her? You always look at her like one of your does.
Oh.
You have no idea how I look at my does.
I'm assuming like her.
No.
Please take her hand.
No, she's with you now.
I don't want this.
That's your problem, not mine.
It's about to be your problem.
Both of you are not
take
leaving
Tiberius
anybody's
with
sight.
my other hand and drink my drink of my face.
So you literally kind of just put your mouth into the drink. Just poof.
Yeah. Don't worry, Tiberius. I will not let anything bad happen to you. Headlock hug.
You two have fun. I'll try to keep the damage to a minimum.
That's appreciated.
Mm.
Roast, I'm going to get up for a moment. The restroom.
Very well.
And so he gets up and steps out and looks around.
Gonna be one big happy family.
Anything in
together.
particular you're looking for?
He is looking for a side room or what looks like a restroom or
And there is one kind of off to your left-hand side. There's kind of a small hallway leading off away from the main dining room.
he's gonna
And
head
there's
that
a-
way.
And there's a couple side rooms in there, side washrooms mostly, as well as a staff-only, of course, room back there, as is per usual in these kind of layouts.
So what are you guys doing?
Yeah, what's happening back in the room with Flix, Rose, Frias, and Tibbs?
Flix?
I think we should busk.
No.
Why, you can't sing?
I will not regale these peasants with my voice, thank
Yeah,
you.
but we need
I
to
will
sing.
not sing!
Oh, well, that means you can't. But you can dance then.
No.
Oh, two left bunny feet.
Freya's wishes
Yes,
she had
we'll go with
alcohol
that.
right now.
Perhaps you should show us your immaculate skills in singing and get as much of your blue chip money as you require to pay off Glacia so we can go somewhere and save the godforsaken universe.
That's what I meant by busking.
Then go busk. I'll remain here and ensure that you get a proper tip for your work.
Keep Frias with you and we got a deal.
Neither of you are leaving my sight.
Then I guess
Non-negotiable.
I'm gonna get you in costume.
No, I'll simply
Non-negotiable.
Get you in costume.
No, I'll simply step back and watch you dance as I'll take the money.
I don't dance.
And then sing or whatever you do. Draw a crowd.
Well, I can't do that if somebody's holding my hand.
Oh, she let go of it to go to eat.
Oh, thank God.
But she will not let you leave that spot at the table.
So, you go busk, get the gold you require, whatever it is, in order to pay off your debt to Glacia, and we will continue on our path towards tomorrow.
Where's the rich district, Nova?
You don't know. It's separated into districts of the by element.
Okay, where is the rich district of the last element I was dealing with that wasn't fire?
Wind.
Right, I'm going to the wind rich district.
She grabs his
Why?
hand again.
You know that outside of water, no one really uses currency, so going to wind, there's not really much there. Unless you want to
Jade.
trade one thing for one thing.
Yeah, Jade. You said Jade's in wind, right?
Yes.
And I could trade Jade for money, which I can trade for blue chips.
You would have to trade to an outsider for that. Outsiders are the ones that would have, like, gold.
I thought that water would take like Jade or whatever as a currency for the blue chip.
If you find the right
Like-
seller,
like-
but you would
like
have to go
$50
into water.
US dollars is what
You
I'm
would have
looking
to.
at.
You would have to go into water itself for that one.
Water's the only place that deals with money.
No, what I'm saying it's like the equivalent of saying you take the Canadian dollar, you're trading it for US dollars, and you go to the US. That's what I'm looking for. A currency
So,
exchange.
okay, hold on. Do you have Jade to trade with?
No, I'm going to go get Jade to trade with.
So to
can't-
get Jade, you're gonna have to go through the Lord.
But she's
Who
hot.
just had their advisor killed and their entire plane barely released from wild magic. And
Okay.
Freys will grab your hand before you try to leave.
So who is running the equivalent of their bank?
Wind doesn't have any.
Who is running the Jade mine?
They're not. There's no Jade mines because they're currently at war with Earth over keeping said Jade.
Why does it make this so difficult? Who do I have to
Because-
sleep with to get money?
Wow!
Well, that's correct. I'll give her that.
I've got a persuasion of 11. There's got to be some rich widow somewhere.
Not in this plane of existence. But the whole thing with water is
Where's
that a lot of
Macumbo kid?
Oh dear.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how can I get I pretty much
Yeah.
need to find a way to get some form of currency that I can use to
so
trade in.
if you
for
remember,
people.
you have acquired several odds and ends through your dungeon romping that can be sold to outsider-run shops in the inner ring for gold value. That gold can be taken and traded in the plane of water for blue chips,
Okay,
typically at
okay.
their casinos.
What items do I? Okay, I know I have a black flute.
Mm-hmm. You do have a bunch of odds and ends that are split between the party.
What do we have?
We have a few magical
have-
items.
I have 2 diamonds worth 300 gold, an emerald worth 50, and gloves of thievery. That's out of character, by the way.
Yeah, I know, I know.
And then melted
I-
armor plates from a slime, which cannot be equipped.
You also, according to my loot list here, which I have pinned, I believe, you have 500 gold coins, 10 potion vials, there's 5 potions of lesser healing, you have a +1 crossbow, a +1 dagger, but I believe those belong to Nye.
Didn't Nye like take off with all of our loot?
Nye made off with like
Yeah.
over 3,000 gold worth
Yeah,
of loot.
Nye made off with a lot of your good shit.
Water. They're grifters.
So let's see. I have necklace of prayer beads, marine spell storing, hunk of mithril ore, the tattered robe and crown.
Now, the ores can actually also be traded into Earth for gold value. They will purchase ore that you either mine yourself or find elsewhere. as well as gemstones. You'll actually get a higher value in Earth for most gemstones and ores, considering you're, in their eyes, supplying for the demand.
Mm-hmm.
There is way to earn currency. You just gotta find them. It also
Okay.
just shows how deep of a hole Flix is in.
Pretty big hole. Pretty
Pretty
big
big
hole.
hole.
Not gonna lie.
That was a low roll too.
Yeah. It could have been worse.
Could have been way worse.
So I guess for what I'll do now then is I'll just like go to I guess the center of where the shops are, and like set up a busking area with like prestidigitation and shit.
Is anyone currently stopping you? Or are you just gonna straight up
Oh,
leave the
Freya's straight up
tavern?
stops. Freya's is already grabbing the hand.
Oh lordy.
Are you coming?
Can I at least finish something on my plate?
Can you bring the plate with you?
She just sighs loudly and dramatically before just picking something up, getting a bite, and
I mean,
then
you
pointing.
could just stay here.
And then
and
she
go
points
on
at
with
Tibbs and is like,
Tiberius.
"You're coming too. Come on."
As you reach to grab Tibbs, he's gone. In fact, instead of there's something there. There is something there, but as you kind of reach over to grab it, your hand passes through it. It's an illusion.
Oh God damn it!
So what's more
When?
important, finding the rabbit that's illusioned you, or sticking with me?
When did that
Interlocks hand
happen?
again and is like, "This, this is."
He could be doing dastardly things.
Yes, we're already
trying to
walking
flee on
out.
Earth.
She's pretty much dragging Flix out now, trying to both look for Tibbs
Ah!
and bring wherever he wanted to go. Upset mother stomping.
Rose is going to stop to try to find where Various went to.
Various went into a side room. He told you guys where he was going.
All right. I'll go find that side room then.
Right, just give me a second.
He is a biological organism.
Mhm.
Totally not making excuses.
I literally do not have anything to find Tibbs. Ugh, no.
Fucking laugh. But yeah, as you kind of go toward the washrooms, Rose, it's an empty hallway, so Various is probably in one of the rooms. But
Rose
the
is
doors are closed, so you're gonna have to knock.
yeah. Rose is just going to start going on the line and knocking until they get a response.
Nova,
Yes.
would he hear him?
Probably at the edge of your conscious, considering the fact that you're contacting Pride right now. But you probably eventually would hear a kind of light knock at the edge of your senses.
You hear some stirring as you knock on one of them. And, there's a few more moments of silence, and then finally... Yeah, yes, sorry.
Yeah, it's just me.
Oh, right. Sorry. He starts to push open the door.
Yeah. Flux and Frius are already leaving, and then Tiberius apparently dropped out of her senses in the middle of her meal and left an illusion behind.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
So yeah, I guess apparently Flix is going to try to go sing for their money. I guess, or whatever it is that Bay Bards do.
Makes sense.
Disregard the furious typing in the background.
It's
Alright.
fine. No, it's various size and looks up to Rose. Well, it's not going to really work. Try and track Tiberius down.
Yeah, that might prove a trite bit difficult. So let me run this by you. Do we want to go listen to Flux's cajoling, or should we go try to find you some new duds?
Let's get our tasks done.
Duds it is.
I have a few options. We can either go down to the Fade Art. That's what it was, the Fade Art Commons.
Mm-hmm.
And try there, and also, in the meantime, get some information on the occupants of the tavern. Or we can perhaps go to Fire and poke around there. There's also Void, though I've never really been there before. Do you have any suggestions?
Well,
They might have more of those lunar influences that you're talking about.
I mean, that may be true. But if you're trying to find options that are more outsider friendly, then the commons would be your best bet.
Very. Then let us go.
Okay.
Do you know a safe way down?
Does Rose know a safe way down?
Yes, he does. He knows there's a few kind of common channels that most people take, considering the fact that a lot of the underworks do route through Void. Some route through the other planar districts, kind of like the one that you took originally, like in the first few sessions, which ran through Fire and were perfectly fine to navigate.
Yeah, I'd have a way over there.
Sounds good. And he'll start to follow Rose.
Okay. Leaving Frius and Flix in the room, I believe.
I thought they already went out.
Yeah,
Oh, we're not?
yeah, Freya's is so aspirated.
Okay.
Well, yeah, she basically
Aggravated?
start. Maybe, but basically, she grabbed Flix's hand and is both trying to pursue Tibbs and trying to bring him wherever the heck Flix wants to go to try and make money.
How would you try to track Tibbs?
You fool, you'll never know where he's going.
Unfortunately, yeah, I have no clue.
Could do insight.
Now?
No, considering the fact that he was gone by the time Frius noticed. I would say roll me
Wisdom?
investigation.
Just plain investigation.
Plain investigation.
All right, there's a chance. Well, okay.
You can get a general idea of where he might have gone, considering the fact there's only one way out of the cafe. But as you kind of get out into the kind of inner city itself, you have no idea. He could have gone anywhere.
She just grabs the bridge of her nose and goes, "All right, where do you think you're gonna make money, Flix?"
Right. To the, I guess, like town square.
That would be the council chambers.
Well, no, like where all the shops are set up. Sorry.
Inner
It
ring?
depends on the inner ring is where a lot of outsider shops are. It's the districts that have their own specialized shops based on the
Yeah,
plane.
the inner ring. That's what I'm thinking.
You
of.
are in the inner ring.
Okay. Right. I gotta find the most open area with the best acoustics?
I mean, considering the entire area is kind of covered in, like, kind of surrounded with giant walls and the like, and there's a lot of open spots just kind of everywhere, either where vendors have not set up shop yet or whatnot. There are a few kind of street vendery kind of carts here and there, but it's early, so there's not a lot of people out.
Mm-hmm. I am going to start setting up a stage. By
How are you going to
stage,
do
I
that?
mean,
Hold
like,
on.
boxes.
Actually, oh, is wild magic still out?
In the Foundry, yes.
You know what? The heck with it. Still gonna try it. I want to cast a spell.
Roll me some wild magic. Also switching over sounds.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh yeah, you'll be fine.
Freya is going to cast Enhance Ability
Okay.
and give him. Oh, wait, I scrolled away from it. Where'd it go? Eagle's Splendor, which is advantage on charisma checks.
Okay, and that's gonna be for the next hour. So tell me, Flix, exactly what are you trying to accomplish here? Like, are
So
you trying to?
I'm pretty much going to do the equivalent of take out my lute, open like the guitar case for it.
Oh,
and
I know
start
what you're doing.
walking.
Yeah. Okay, so go ahead and just roll me just a straight charisma, and also, of course, an advantage because you have buff.
Wouldn't it be performance?
No, this is charisma. An added advantage because you have the enhance ability on you.
Please don't roll where you get Madarak's attention.
17's not bad. Considering the fact that it's still quite early, you do get one or two passerbys that are obviously outsider in nature. You see one figure that looks to be like a dark-skinned elf in kind of a doom and gloom style cloak and a very fancy outfit. He kind of stops at you and tosses at least 2 gold into your case before walking away. You eventually get another that seems to be a pair of kobolds. One's blue, one's red, and they kind of yip at each other for a couple seconds before they toss 5 gold into your case. So
Woohoo!
you made about 7 gold.
Slowly working.
Yeah, at this rate, within 1,000 years, you'll be paid off.
I know, right?
But we're going to briefly go to Tiberius.
What are you talking about?
Tiberius, where are you going?
I can't believe I'll ever say this, but Tiberius is going to a library.
He cut out the very end. Come on. But which one are you going to? You're going to Leonard's, right?
Yeah, the first one will be Leonard's.
Okay. So it takes you about a half an hour to reach the Palace of Fire, and the whole place is still kind of quiet. It's actually quieter than normal. But since the library is open to the public, you find no issue getting into there. What exactly are you looking for? Like, are you looking for a specific tome, a specific subject?
How to
And
travel?
will you ask for help?
How to travel from the plains to a specific location? If
And are
that's
you
yes, he's going to ask for help after the books are obviously not lined properly or indicated through the proper Dewey quadruple
And-
system.
And they're not. It's a different system that you are completely alien to.
Who counts in tens? This is supposed to be in fours. All of you are dumb.
But you begrudgingly approach the librarian, and she kind of looks at you with like a little bit of an incredulous look. It's like, do we look like a mage's study to you?
Now you do have quite a bit of books, so yes.
Knowledge like that is typically banned, considering the fact that travel here is a little finicky, and getting out of here is its own hazard.
So how exactly do outsiders go back home then?
Do you want the short answer or the long answer?
My time is limited. Short would be nice.
They don't.
And what's the long answer then?
They typically either blow themselves up trying to create such a spell to do so, they get lost on the way and wind up in a completely different plane of existence, They have no idea where they're going, get lost and die. They wind up in another plane and die. There's a lot of death involved.
Perhaps you're just not trying hard enough. Well, thank you for your time. I will go and examine somewhere else.
Good luck. And the librarian definitely has that look of crazy on her face. And then we'll shift over to Various and Rose. Let's shine the spotlight on you two.
Uh-oh.
What are you two doing?
Well, I gotta catch up on this message here. Rose, kind of has a look of consideration across their face, at Various's request. If matters were to come to that, then yes, I don't see any issue about doing that for you.
That's appreciated. He sounds very matter-of-fact about it.
You guys do make it down to the Fader Commons without any issue. One thing you do indeed notice is that the area and street typically around Auntie's Tavern has been barricaded and blocked off. There's a lot of yellow tape all over the place. And actually seeing the place, there are vines pouring from the windows. And there's actually several people who are around it, actively keeping them back behind a force field that is being actively channeled. The place looks like a crime scene.
Well.
Various. Mind if we take a quick detour here? Maybe we should see just what Flix was really yammering on about.
Yes, I was sort of curious about the well-being of those who had been here.
Right. Rose will go and approach if there's any sort of like guard or official there.
Yeah, there's a few guards. They seem to be from the city guard in general, just the Foundry guard, and one in particular you approach is wearing the typical city guard armor, and they look to be a matter primordial. So you kind of see bits of bone hair kind of sticking out, and gold plates around like their wrists and stuff like that. And they kind of look down at you because they're quite tall. Like we're talking like 8 foot something. And they kind of look at you down at you and it's like, probably best that you guys move along. It's a little dangerous over here.
Where is... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I was just curious about what's been through here. Pardon the expression, but what in blazes happened here?
From what I heard from the people, the witnesses, apparently one of the council members kind of went a little loco. They kind of motioned with their finger to their temple and kind of swirled around. Same with their bodyguard, and you'll have to talk to the witnesses. I don't understand half of it. I don't know Faye. They're weird.
Do you know where Auntie is?
She should be with some of the other folks who fled. I think they're being held up at the Fire Citadel right now. I know it's where the council, the counselor that went crazy is being held too.
Good to know.
All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Oh yeah, just be careful.
Mm-hmm. Well, that seems to cross with what Flix was saying.
Yes, it does.
Anyways, I think there's I think the shopping district's this way. Just follow me.
Right.
And it's not hard to find. Go ahead.
He follows along behind, looking around thoughtfully as he goes.
And you see a few shops. You see some bakeries. You see some tailors. You see a blacksmith or two. You see some knickknack shops, puppet, or like marionette style shops with dolls and the like. There's all sorts. Is there any in particular you're looking for?
Tailors, most likely.
Tailors. Now, what kind
Or
of tailor are you looking
clothiers.
for? Yeah. Now, what kind are you looking for? Are you looking for something that's been pre-made? Do you want to look for something that can be made for you? Because as you're kind of going down this kind of the Broadway of the Fadar Commons, you see that there's some shops that have like pre-made clothes that are probably brought in from the outside. You have some places that seem to be a traditional tailor shop where they'll measure you and make something for you.
Well, Rose, any preference?
You're the one who was supposed to tend to come in here. I guess it's dependent on are you looking for something more looking for something more basic, something more classy?
I just want something that's not what I'm wearing right now.
Very well. Why don't we yeah, you know what? Let's see if we can get you something maybe a little bit at least a little bit finer than what you have already.
So you're gonna look for. Go ahead.
He nods and starts following his. Probably looking for stores that have something in his size.
And for most tailors, they can actually edit it to make sure it fits too.
Yeah, and is probably also keeping an eye out for something that would match Rose's taste.
That's a tall order.
It's also the Fey Commons.
Yeah, you're not wrong. In fact, Rose would probably fit in perfectly fine there. But Rose, where are you taking Various? Let's come up with a shop name. Like, is there any particular place Rose would like going to or potentially know about?
I would say considering some Rose would probably be looking for somewhere that definitely deals with not your with more animalistic humanoids.
So, well, you come up to this particular little shop. It's kind of a not really brick and mortar. It's more like a kind of an old Gothic style shop. It's called the King's Needle, except it has a dragon with a crown on it, with a needle kind of weaving around it with thread. The proprietor is, let's say, they're a bird-looking creature, kind of like an Aarakocra in a way. And as you enter, you definitely see that there's mannequins that are more fit to bestial style creatures, either on 4 legs or 2 legs, with tails, wings, etc. And the tailor is a kind of black and white colored Aarakocra that has kind of clipped wings, but they are in a pretty decent tailored suit, probably made by hand. And they seem to be working with a sewing machine, surprisingly enough. But that sewing machine looks to be connected to a jar, kind of like some sort of tube that's connected to a jar that has a glowing yellow substance inside of it that seems to spark every now and then, like lightning. And as you kind of enter the shop, you hear the little ching of the door opening, and with that, we are going to go into our 15-minute break.
Hurry!
So, break time. Return at 6:15.
Yay!